So I read my comments, and a lot of people have been requesting that I give a reaction to Tucker Carlson on Fox News. Tucker Carlson said the United States will run out of diesel fuel by November 21st. So Carlson says that we're going to have economic collapse. So let me show you what Tucker Carlson said, and then I'll give you my reaction.
This country is about to run out of diesel fuel. According to data from the Energy Information Administration, by the Monday of Thanksgiving week, that's 25 days from now, there will be no more diesel. So what's going to happen then? Well, everything will stop. That means trucks and trains and barges all unable to move. Farm equipment will shut down. There will be no deliveries because there will be no trucks. There will be no diesel generators. And then inevitably our economy will crash because everything runs on diesel fuel. Not on solar panels, not on wind farms, on diesel fuel. Diesel is not a negotiable commodity. You have to have diesel. So what happens when we don't have it?
So I like how he said everything with authority, even though he's completely wrong. So as an investor, a big part of my portfolio is in energy, particularly in hydrocarbons. So you can ask my subscribers, they'll vouch for me. I was begging people to buy Exxon in 2020 when it was at $35 a share. I was begging people to buy Exxon in 2021 when it was $55 a share. And right now it's at $111 a share. So that's my perspective. This is where I'm coming from. Now, I want to dissect Tucker's statement piece by piece because there's a lot to unpack here. So let's go to the first clip.
This country is about to run out of diesel fuel.
I want to tell you this right off the bat. No, we are not about to run out of diesel fuel. Now take a look at this clip.
According to data from the Energy Information Administration, by the Monday of Thanksgiving week, that's 25 days from now, there will be no more diesel.
Now, Tucker Carlson said, according to data from the Energy Information Administration, by November 21st, there will be no more diesel. I want to educate Tucker because he is clearly spreading lies. The Energy Information Administration's data shows that America has an inventory of 25 days worth of diesel. That means that if all of our diesel refineries all of a sudden just shut down, and if we suddenly stopped importing diesel fuel, then we would run out of diesel fuel in 25 days. That does not mean that in 25 days, we're gonna run out of diesel fuel. I wanna show you what Tucker is referencing and what he is intentionally misinterpreting. This is the 30-year chart of diesel inventory that America has stockpiled. It has fallen to the low end of our normal range, but it's fallen to this level before, and we did not have Armageddon. Listen, I want to tell you this. Tucker clearly knows the truth, but the agenda is to spread fear by just straight up lying. You know, at first you get frustrated with the fake news, but then you get accustomed to it. And it's just truly sad that mainstream media is like this. You know, there's something deeply wrong with our society. It's just sad that many people, they hear these stories, they hear these lies, and they actually believe it. But anyways, let's proceed.
This country is about to run out of diesel fuel. According to data from the Energy Information Administration, by the Monday of Thanksgiving week, that's 25 days from now, there will be no more diesel. So what's going to happen then? Well, everything will stop. That means trucks and trains and barges all unable to move. Farm equipment will shut down. There will be no deliveries because there will be no trucks. There will be no diesel generators. And then inevitably our economy will crash.
So everyone, this is your warning. According to Tucker, be prepared because everything is going to stop on November 21st. Trucks won't be able to move. Trains will stop. Barges will be stuck. Farm equipment will shut down. No deliveries. That means no Amazon shipments, no DoorDash, no Uber Eats. And then our economy will crash. So this doomsday prediction by Tucker, I think this one is even more stupid than Y2K. Or even the Mayan calendar doomsday events. So that one, if you remember that one, December 21st, 2012, we all survived that one. So at least those two doomsday predictions had some kind of story that cult-like people could get behind. This one by Tucker, this was just so amateur. It felt like it was just slapped together in 30 seconds and they just ran with it. So listen, I know that Tucker is just reading the teleprompter, but whoever wrote the script for that day and the person in charge of reviewing it or fact-checking it, they must have really been off their game that day. Okay, so that's my initial reaction to Tucker. I don't watch a lot of Tucker, so I don't know if his content is always this bad or if this is just a fluke, like an anomaly. So please let me know in the comments down below. Again, I'm only reacting to this because I read the comments, people have been requesting it, people are scared, and I pay attention to the energy sector. Now let me give you some accurate and real information, and then we'll get back to Tucker and also to the Democrats. So we are not running out of diesel. There's not going to be Armageddon on November 21st. However, yes, there is currently more demand than there is supply. This is causing a shrinking inventory. This means that diesel prices will continue to go up. As the price of diesel fuel rises, it will kill demand. Demand will fall because it just gets too expensive. Sooner or later, there will be a price where demand and supply are at equilibrium. That price point, it may be much higher than here, and of course, it'll be terrible for the country and the economy, but we're not gonna run out of diesel fuel. But you know what? I'll be the first to admit that we do have a problem, and it's a big problem. The question on everyone's mind is, what the hell is going on? Why is supply not keeping up with demand? So I'll tell you why. I'll give you 3 of many reasons. The first reason is we're going through a green midlife crisis right now, correct? Basically, if you're not green, then you're a low-life scumbag. Am I right? Isn't that the current sentiment? So you're either green and you're a good person, or you're a hydrocarbon lover and you're looked down upon basically like a criminal or a degenerate. So no offense to criminals or degens that are watching. I'm just saying that society looks down upon us. With this type of ultra green mentality, and the politicians and activist groups saying that they're going to kill the oil industry within 10 years, why would companies build more oil refineries? It would take a decade or more for a company to build an oil refinery and earn their investment back. So if the politicians are going to kill the oil industry, then why would you invest in a money-losing proposition? So our oil refining capacity for diesel today is less than what it was pre-pandemic. The second reason is that over the past few months, during the fall, that's when the refineries were doing their maintenance work. October was a busy month for maintenance. It was actually a record month. So this made the problem worse by further limiting the supply of diesel. And the third reason is, before Putin decided to invade Ukraine, America was importing Russian oil. It amounted to 8% of US petroleum imports, so it was not an enormous amount. However, most of that was diesel. So that's the situation. Diesel supply is not keeping up with demand. This is causing diesel prices to stay elevated. Diesel prices are averaging more than $1.50 higher than gasoline. If the supply-demand imbalance gets worse, then the price of diesel will continue going up. And just so you know, that's going to have consequences because that will drive inflation higher. And a lot of people that need diesel will not be able to afford it. Now let's talk about the political aspects of what Tucker Carlson is doing. So we have the midterm elections on November 8th. The Republicans obviously want to make the Democrats look bad, but gasoline prices have fallen from their all-time highs. So the Republicans have to come up with some kind of story. Of the hydrocarbons, their best option was diesel. So you have all the Republican politicians getting behind Tucker's fake news in their campaigns. Senator Tom Cotton is tweeting it. Senator Marsha Blackburn is tweeting it. The Republican politicians are actually running with this story. Listen, I'm not defending the Biden administration. What Biden has done to decrease gasoline prices to win votes for the midterm elections is hilarious and sad. It's hilarious because it's so obvious that he's buying votes, but it's sad because it jeopardizes the national security of the United States of America. The government just sold the last batch of emergency reserve oil today. It conveniently ended just days before the midterm elections. So that was good times while it lasted, an unsustainable boost of 1 million barrels of oil per day. With that supply suddenly vanishing, we can prepare for higher gasoline and higher diesel fuel prices, especially with the lack of cooperation from the Saudis and OPEC. But we'll see if draining the piggy bank paid off for the Democrats. It's just a shame that we can't print more oil. Moving forward, the Biden administration is going to try to punish big oil companies by levying more taxes on them. Biden wants to impose an excess profits tax. Apparently, that's supposed to encourage more oil production. So I don't know how the math works on that one, but let's give it a shot. But honestly, it's not worth discussing in depth because it's not going to pass. The Democrats would need 60 votes in the Senate to make that happen. The Democrats currently have 50 seats in the Senate. On November 8th, the Democrats are expected to retain the 50 seats at best, or perhaps even lose a seat or two. In the House of Representatives, the Democrats would need to retain control. However, it is expected that the Republicans will win control of the House. So I imagine that I triggered a few Republicans and a few Democrats, but I have to keep it honest, and this was my honest reaction. If you enjoy watching Tucker, that's fine, but just realize that it's just entertainment and twisted information, and we're not going to have chaos by November 21st. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. I'll keep you updated, and I wish you a very nice day.